curious to hear more about like your natural hair journey. You know, what did that look like? Were you always natural?
My mom permed my hair when I was young, like 8 years old, because I was tender-headed. I was crying, screaming. Every single day she tried to do my hair. She was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. We're going to perm it. So I went through my life with permed hair. I tried to go natural like in middle school. I think I stopped perming my hair like in 7th, 8th grade. Because like my family down south, they were saying like, oh, we're going natural. Like you should try it, do it. So I did it. But I didn't know how to do my hair. Like I literally was like just going through braids. My hair was healthier. Like, and when it was breaking, it was not healthy, but it was straight. So like once it was curly and natural, it was healthy, but I just felt different. I felt like I looked different. I felt like a different person. I am totally a different person than I ever was before. And I feel like my natural hair is something that really attributes that.
Similar to what you mentioned, Asiyah, I remember like, you know, before any holiday, right, Easter, Christmas or whatever, had a relaxer and I was sitting by the stove with the hot comb ready, my mom ready to, you know, straighten my hair. And it was really interesting when I went natural because I didn't do, like, it wasn't a major big chop because I wasn't secure enough to just like cut off all my hair. But it was noticeably shorter and I always had like longer relaxed hair. So then what was interesting is like seeing how like homophobia showed up in my family because they're like, you cut off all your hair, are you trying to tell us something? I'm like, well, first of all, even if I was gay, even if I was lesbian, that wouldn't be an issue. But for them, me cutting my hair meant that it was an indicator of my sexual orientation. And I was like, this is a really interesting connection because they connected my hair with femininity.
I feel like for me, it was about the same. I did big chops in sessions because I did not want to cut it all off at the same time. And in between, I was learning how to braid. So I always had all these braids in my hair. And my mom's like, why are you doing this? Like, your hair was nice. Well, like, why? And it was the question of, why do you want your hair so short like a boy? But I feel like part of that process was me learning how to take care of myself, too, because I was in middle school. And also, I feel like for a lot of women, their hair is their crown. And for me, I wanted it to be me, not just my hair straight, because I knew my hair wasn't straight. And I grew up trying to make it straight. I would comb it down all the way because I used to have wavy hair. And that just wasn't me. And I knew it wasn't me. So being able to grow from learning who I was and what my hair actually was, that was empowering for me as a person.
It was like in 8th or 7th grade, I straightened my hair a lot one Christmas, and I was just like trying so hard not to have curls. I didn't like my hair. I was just like, nope, I want it straight. I told all my cousins, go right ahead, straighten it, continue straightening it. And finally, when I washed my hair, my curls were just depleted, dry, no like shape, just so dull and just straight. I had so much heat damage, and I remember crying my eyes out, and my grandma didn't understand. Because my grandma is Mexican, and so this is something new for her too. And she's like, what do you mean? Your hair looks the same, it looks fine. But I was trying to explain to her, like, no, my hair texture changed. The heat and all the excessive heat made my hair texture change, and it's not healthy anymore, it's damaged. And so when I finally went back home after Christmas break, I ended up going to the salon. I was just like, well, you know what, chop it. Cut it short, and my hair was like up to here, really short. And I look back at pictures like, wow, I really did have a small little fro. And from that moment, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't gonna straighten my hair until, you know, like high school graduation. And, you know, because of COVID, didn't have that. So I still never had a chance to straighten my hair. But now that I think about it, I don't think I ever want to, because I just feel like a lot of people were saying, like, I feel more authentic with my natural hair. I love my natural hair. It's something that is a part of me, and it's something that I've definitely grown to love as well over the years, versus when I was a kid, I used to hate it. All my cousins had straight hair, and I always felt like the odd one out. But now that I have my curls and I've learned to embrace them, it's much better for me.
I've always been natural my entire life, and I have to give 100% of that credit to my mom. We all know natural hair is a lot to take care of. Plaiting, braiding, washing. Wash day is a whole day. We already know what that is. Yep. So I remember when I was younger and my mom would always do my hair, and I was like, there's this one specific girl, and I was like, I want her hair. Like, I want my hair to look like that. And my mom was like, but that's not your natural texture, you know? You gotta love your hair. But as a child, you didn't really see natural hair on TV. Any girl that had natural hair, it was usually straightened. So it's like, I want my hair like that. After I grew up and I started to learn to do my own hair, I was like, okay, I did the same process, crying and everything, because it's frustrating when you can't get the style that you want.
Real tears.
But I was like, I understand, like I felt some deep roots connected to doing my own hair and like seeing my hair being done. Even if it looked kind of wacky, it was just like, this is me, this is who I actually am.
Women in general experience the policing of bodies, including hair, but Black and brown women experience it to a different degree, right? And this idea that, you know, your hair represents your proximity to whiteness, right? And to, you know, reject that is to resist against the status quo, which I think is incredibly powerful. So on one hand, it's certainly about self, but on the other hand, because of the politicized nature of Black and brown bodies, it means so much more.